So it may seem like I'm trying to help Doug out. I'm not trying to help him out. I don't care nothing about him, what he got going on, nothing. I care about the truth. The truth was, I was going through a phase in my life, and I have put all the blame on him. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he got going on. But y'all got me on the stand, and I'm telling the God honest truth. Leave me out of this. I made all these stories up, put the blame on him to get myself out of the situation because the police told me they want a big fish, and I'm a little fish. They ain't who I want. So when they told me that, my only motive was to convince them that I'm telling the truth about this guy right here, and I'm lying.
I was still doing shows like when you wasn't hearing me. Like every weekend for the last 10 years, I've been on the road. You know what I'm saying? But it's different when your mind is not mentally feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on stage and it's really feeling like a blur. Like I'm up there, but it's like a blur. I'm not in tune with it because I got all this other stuff going on in my brain. You know what I'm saying?
Man. What's the relationship with Quan, with Rich Homie?
No, we don't have no problem. Like, I don't think we can be like how we used to be.
Right.
He already did. He already just did some bullshit. He already know my heart. So it's like, I'm too pure. So once you just, you do that, it's like, no, yes. He did a show before and I think a guy had touched his leg on the stage like a fan was like, yo, he was standing on the end of the stage and people was touching him, grabbing his shoes, and he was like, yo, I ain't with that gay shit, nigga, I ain't with that thug shit. And it's just like, damn, you my brother, like, nigga, I got your name tattooed on me. Like, what the fuck is you doing? So it's just like, it's like that. Like, I forgive him because I know he really be drunk. Hey, Quan get drunk.
Damn.
I forgive. I always forgive. I don't ever hold grudges on nobody. I forgive everybody.
Care about the message I'm giving out, you feel me? Like, the music ain't gonna sound like some type of way. And today, I'm 33 now, so I look at things different. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, my oldest son being 15, my youngest being 2, it's a big age differential, but the message the same. I'm mindful of what I say. I'm mindful of what they see. Right. Knowing they're able of age to just be able to Google me, I care about that. Right. I care what pop up. And if I can control the narrative, let me do it in the right way.
A young artist that's coming in the game, bump into you right now walking out this building. Hey, Quan, give me some game right quick. What would you tell him?
First, I will observe him before I give him the game, see what his circle look like. You know what I'm saying? Just look at his circle, because you are a reflection of your circle.
Facts.
I'm gonna look at his circle, and that's gonna depend on the answer I give him. You know what I'm saying? Your circle look thorough, solid. Just give him some game, like, man, stay around some solid ones who want it more than you want it. You got some people who going hard every day that people don't see. Right. You know what I mean? Those are people who matter to me. You know what I mean? So it's just like, get around people who believe in you more than you believe in yourself.
And it's a crazy question, but I'm gonna ask you. Even though you hurting and going through grief or whatever, do you feel like him passing gave you some type of strength?
No doubt. No doubt, because like, prime example, man, like, I was in a tag office a couple months ago, picking a tag of one of the vans, and I ain't know this lady. The lady said, you strong. I said, you know me? She said, yeah, you Quan, Dad. She said, I watch you from afar. She said, you got hella strength. And I told her, I said, it ain't me, man. Like, Black, I keep it real with. Sometimes, bro, I wake up at 6:15 in the morning. I look at the clock, man, it's 12:19. I ain't left out the bedroom, bro. Like, days be up. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I feel Quan presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel him saying, Dad, I'm sorry that you dealing with this, but I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I can't get it right every time, bro. But at the end of the day, as long as I do what's right in my eyes, and I take time to listen to what Quan would say or what God would have me to do, that's all I can do.
From losing your son or him transitioning, like, how you view the rap game? Did it swallow your son up? Like,
I think, you know, the success and the darkness that come with it, man. Follow me? Just think about some of the big boys and where they at and where they are mentally. That's why we were talking, man. Like, it's important, man, to bring awareness to mental health. Upon my son's death, my son was in a dark space, man. As a dad, as a parent, as a mom, it's only so much you can do, man. But that's why I'm telling you, like, tried to get Quan help, man. But, you know, the first step is admitting I got a problem.
It's hard to admit that with all the goddamn money. Because when we come up, when we look at a dope fiend or a crackhead, it's the motherfucker out there that can't get it together. So you don't really see yourself as being cousins to that. You don't see it because you worth so much money. And so, do you feel any guilt with that? Do people try to pass guilt of like, yo, y'all kind of knew he was on shit, pills or whatever he was doing? Like, do you feel any of that?
To a certain degree, as a human, I'd be lying if I say no.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and I can say this, and this is not an excuse, my son never indulged in drugs around me. You got to realize I'm his dad, bro. And I was a disciplinarian. I was strict, structured. So certain things I didn't see. I never saw Quan pop a pill in front of me. I saw him smoke weed. I saw him drink liquor. But certain things I never saw him do. But in my mind, I knew when he was higher than normal. And I would address it with him. I used to tell him like, hey man, whatever you going through in life, your ass ain't in a pill bottle or liquor bottle, man. I used to tell him that because at the end of the day, man, I know what hard work and grind and discipline and putting my money up can do for me. This chair I'm sitting there alone, I don't wish this on nobody, man. Like, I honestly didn't know the love, the respect that was displayed for my son. I was in awe, man. I was in awe.
You raised a legend, bro. That man was one of the most influential artists of this generation. I'm telling you, bro, you did a great job with that boy, man. And when you lay down, know that. I did that one. You see what I'm saying?
In one of the darkest times of my life, man.
Burying your son is so traumatic. Did you feel like that enough of the industry, enough of the rappers and stuff supported Quan like they should have?
No, but that day, bro, I was so out of it, it didn't matter. And honestly, when I made the announcement,
if someone you love is lying on the floor, not breathing, do you stop and think first, or do you call for help immediately? That single question is why Rich Homie Quan's death still doesn't sit right with so many people. Almost 2 years later, the official story says overdose. Case closed. But the behavior, the timing, and the people in that house that morning keep pulling this story back into the spotlight. Quiet moves, missing urgency, and details that don't line up the way they should. And before anyone jumps to conclusions, this isn't about proving anything. It's about what doesn't add up. Because once you walk through the timeline slowly, the cracks start showing fast. And it all begins in the early hours of September 5th, 2024. Rich Homie Quan was only 34 years old. According to the official account, his brother Andre was the first person to find him around 3 a.m. He walked into the kitchen and saw Rich Homie Quan lying on the floor. Food was still in his mouth. No movement, no response. Now, anyone who's ever lost someone knows that moment hits different. Panic, fear, shock. Your body moves before your mind even catches up. But that's not what was described here. Andre told authorities he didn't call for help. He didn't check for signs of life. He didn't rush for a phone. Instead, he picked Rich Homie Quan up and moved him from the kitchen floor to the couch. And that was it. No emergency call, no urgency, no attempt to revive him. Just laid him down as if the outcome was already decided. That decision created a gap that no one has been able to explain. Because hours passed. And during that time, Rich Homie Quan stayed on that couch. Around 6:45 a.m., Rich Homie Quan's baby mama, Amber, woke up. She didn't immediately check on him. She took the kids to school. She came back home, and only then did she notice Rich Homie Quan still lying on the couch, cold, foaming at the mouth, and not breathing. That's when the 911 call finally happened. When that audio went public, the internet didn't just listen. They dissected it. People weren't focused on the words, they focused on the tone. It sounded calm, too calm. Like someone reporting a problem, not witnessing a crisis in real time. She explained that he slept on the couch, said she placed a blanket over him earlier, said she checked again because he never got up. No screaming, no panic, no disbelief. And once people heard that call, the questions turned personal. Because if someone hasn't been in bed all night, most people check on them first thing. That's what social media kept repeating. not as an accusation, but as instinct. Andre, once again, stayed quiet. He was the first one there, the first to see rich homie Quan unresponsive, the first with a chance to call for help. And yet, he never did. That silence made his behavior afterward impossible to ignore. In the days following rich homie Quan's passing, people noticed something else that didn't sit right. Andre didn't move like someone drowning in grief. He was seen wearing rich homie Quan's clothes, posting laughing emojis, moving like his lifestyle had shifted overnight. Some even claimed he was reaching out to artists and industry figures almost immediately, floating ideas, pushing connections, and positioning himself in spaces rich homie Quan once occupied. In the hood, people weren't calling it mourning, they were calling it opportunity. And when that perception started spreading, an industry voice finally said what many were already thinking. Hurricane Chris spoke on it carefully. No accusations, no claims of being present. But he said the situation felt off, that the story being told didn't sit right with him. Then he addressed the overdose angle directly. He talked about fake pills, about how dangerous street pills have become, about how 9 times out of 10 people don't even know what they're taking. Old pill bottles refilled with new shit labels that mean nothing. And when someone from the industry says that out loud, it gives the public permission to dig deeper. Because at first, the story followed a familiar script. Overdose, a mix of substances, another tragic headline, but people close to rich homie Quan weren't buying it, especially his father. Months later, rich homie Quan's dad finally spoke, and his words carried weight because this wasn't a distant relationship. They talked every day, they were close, more like best friends than just father and son. He made one thing clear: the official cause didn't match the son he knew. Yes, rich homie Quan smoked, yes, he drank. He wasn't pretending his son was perfect, but the heavy pill narrative didn't line up with how rich homie Quan lived his life. His father said he was strict, structured, a disciplinarian. If rich homie Quan was ever higher than normal, he addressed it directly. He told his son not to play with pills, not to gamble with his life, and he said something that stuck with a lot of people. He never saw rich homie Quan popping pills in front of him, ever. That wasn't denial, that was observation. This was a man who envisioned growing old with his son, sitting back one day, talking about life, laughing about the past. And when he heard what supposedly took rich homie Quan out, it didn't sit right in his spirit. Something felt off. Then came the toxicology report. People noticed how fast it dropped. No long delays, no drawn-out process, just a quick wrap-up. Multiple substances listed, case closed. But for a public figure with money, status, and industry ties, that speed raised eyebrows. Those reports usually take time, especially when questions are already swirling. And stacked on top of everything else, it only added fuel. The calm 911 call, the delayed response, Andre's behavior, the father's doubts. Then another detail resurfaced. There was reportedly another woman in the house that morning. Her name was Kaya Brown. Not family, not a public figure, not someone people recognized. But her presence kept popping up in conversations surrounding that morning. Some claimed she was there around the time everything went down. Others said she tried to leave after allegedly dropping something off. When questioned, people said her answers were vague, her energy shaky, her timeline unclear. She never became the public focus. Authorities didn't spotlight her, but in the streets, her name never left the conversation. Too many people in that house, too many unclear stories, and way too much time before anyone called for help. That's when people started widening the lens beyond the house itself, because rich homie Quan wasn't broke. He wasn't desperate. He wasn't irrelevant. He still had value. And in the music industry, value can attract problems. That's when whispers started floating. Names started coming up. Some people even mentioned Young Thug, saying the timing felt strange as rich homie Quan was allegedly getting his life back on track. But that theory didn't hold up. People close to Thug pushed back hard. They said the respect was real. When the news broke, Thug reportedly broke down. Real grief, no benefit, no motive. That angle faded, but one idea refused to disappear. Rich homie Quan may have been quietly stepping away from certain people, not calling anyone out, not exposing anything, just pulling back, creating distance. And in this industry, that can be dangerous. Lil Woody hinted at this mindset in separate conversations, talking about how people sometimes get taken out when they stop playing their role. when they decide they don't want to be controlled anymore. No names, no accusations, just a message. And once that idea settled in, another name resurfaced. Birdman. The industry always tightens when that name enters the chat. Birdman was the connector, the one who originally linked Rich Homie Quan and Thug, something Rich Homie Quan himself had spoken on in past interviews. Fans have said for years that certain industry figures don't like artists becoming too independent, too untouchable, too big to manage. And let's be clear, nobody is saying Birdman pulled a trigger. Nobody is saying he handed anyone anything. The industry doesn't always move through direct action. Sometimes it moves through access, through influence, through pressure, through silence. And when people look at Rich Homie Quan's situation through that lens, the idea of something happening behind the scenes doesn't sound as far-fetched as it once did. Right in the middle of all this speculation, one voice chose a different path. DC Young Fly. DC had known Rich Homie Quan and his family since 2003. Way before music, way before fame. This wasn't clout. This was real family. At the funeral, DC didn't push theories, he didn't feed rumors. He spoke about life, about pain, about continuing forward even when answers don't come. He reminded the family that none of us are promised tomorrow, that what matters is how we move when things don't make sense. And that moment hit harder than anything else. Because while DC was focused on healing, others were scrambling to explain behavior that still didn't add up. When you step back and look at the full picture, the layers feel heavy. A brother who found him first and never called for help. A baby mama whose calm reaction raised alarms. A woman in the house whose presence hasn't been clearly explained. A father who doesn't believe the official cause. Industry voices hinting something wasn't right. Power dynamics quietly circling. And a toxicology report that moved unusually fast. That's not just a tragedy, that's a puzzle. And the internet isn't done trying to solve it. People keep asking the same questions. How was a blanket placed over him without noticing what was happening? Why was he found with food still in his mouth? Why did no one call an ambulance immediately? One comment said it best. It don't matter if he OD'd or somebody gave him something bad. Either way, somebody failed him. And that's why this conversation isn't going away. Because until someone fully explains what really happened inside that house that morning, Rich Homie Quan's name will keep coming back up. So now the real question stands louder than ever. Was Rich Homie Quan truly lost to an overdose? Or did someone inside that house already know what was coming? And if he was quietly trying to step away from certain circles, who really stood to gain the most from his absence? That's where the story ends for now. But the conversation doesn't stop here. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Say what doesn't add up to you. Keep it real and keep it respectful. And if you want more stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel grow and keeps these conversations alive.